out our contest page and see how you can win a pair of tickets to the Minnesota Golf Show, February 21st to the 23rd at the Minneapolis Convention Center. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter for your chance to win.
Did you just say naturally nude? What do you think, you're Paul Charchian?
Getting in the role. I was trying to sell some pajamagrams.
Yeah, there you go. Pajamagrams.
Even though they're not advertising this holiday season.
Well, they probably sold out already. This was such a successful campaign.
They typically do sell out. Yes. You did need to get in early.
That is correct.
I do remember that.
PST VVII. It's our 17th ever. He's Tennessee. I'm Common. Corey Cove and Justin Gard kindly joining us here today to analyze our preposterous statements that have been submitted and gone through by the committee. And here we are. Where are we at now, Tenna?
I should remind the listeners, you can watch the Preposterous Statement Tournament Selection Show right now at KFAN.com/watch.
I'm wearing the green sweatshirt. I was going to wear a black sweatshirt today, but I didn't want people to think Corey and I were the same person. I had a hunch he was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt.
And I'm wearing all black today as well.
So I'm the one in the green sweatshirt.
Welcome aboard.
Yep.
All right, we've got one region.
Are you wearing white tennis shoes, too?
Of course. White tennis shoes, black pants, black hooded sweatshirt, black hat every day. It's my uniform.
One region down, 3 regions to go. We now reveal the number 1 seed in the
West region.
And it is Skip Bayless.
I think Bronny will be pretty good. I think he'll become a clutch three-point shooter. I've always gotten the feeling that Bronny had a bigger clutch gene than his father does.
Skip's going to go up against the winner of the say-in matchup. Your say-in matchup is the number 16 seed, Brian Oak, who said, quote, even if Sexy Back were the only song Timbaland ever co-wrote, he would still be worthy of inclusion in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Oak will go up against the number 17 seed, Kalen Kaler of ESPN, who tweeted, this is going to sound crazy, but the Bears need to think crazy. They should trade for Kevin O'Connell. Caleb and KOC love each other. I don't know if the Vikings would ever part with him, but Chicago should at least try. Added bonus, I believe his agent is Trace Armstrong.
And then it comes to find out that O'Connell, a lot of teams wanted to trade for him, right?
So maybe it wasn't so preposterous.
Yeah, I don't think that's preposterous. I feel this is like a Corey Cove breakdown for me, at least. So quick comparison on lyrics. Compare these, Common, on which might be the best of all time or Hall of Fame worthy. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer. Let it be. Mm-hmm. Compare it to, I'll let you whip me if I misbehave. It's just that no one makes me feel this way. Come on back, go. VIP, drinks on me. Let me see what you're twerking with.
I love that, and that twerking with is good at the very end.
You think that's what puts him in the Songwriters Hall of Fame?
And that's just a co-writing.
Right. That's true.
Just co-writing.
If he stopped right there.
Yeah. Just give him the whole song, and who knows where it would have went. Yeah, that's...
Because you're burning up, I got to get it fast. Take him to the bridge.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. You don't have to like Timbaland, but you have to respect him, as Brian Oak would say. So good.
By the way, I'm watching, you can comment at KFAN.com/watch. Mm-hmm. One of them wrote, when I think of the color black, I can't help but envision Corey Cove. He's changed the way I feel.
Thanks, Parker. Please don't use me saying those lyrics on your show tomorrow.
West region.
The number 8 seed in the West region, Mark Ryan, who's a Detroit radio host, he tweeted, Detroit is the youngest team in baseball. Last season, none of the 8 youngest teams made the playoffs. Houston had been to 7 straight American League Championship Series. You're witnessing baseball's version of the Miracle on Ice. He'll go up against the number 9 seed, Ben Lieber, on the Vikings' great start to the season. He said, quote, I think they can go 10-0 and be the talk and all of a sudden be looked at in that light. But I actually hope kind of not, because I don't want it to be a distraction.
Thankfully, we didn't have to worry about it.
No,
we ended up losing 2 games in a week.
It's like the 2-0 lead.
It's 100%.
Yeah, it's exactly. Very good.
West region.
Charch is back. The number 4 seed, Paul Charchian, on Fantasy Football Weekly. He said, quote, Saquon Barkley is cooked. I'd much rather have Jonathan Brooks, Ramondre Stevenson, and Zamir White. I would take Saquon in round 8. Charch will go up against the number 13 seed, Jim Peterson, who said, quote, Wemby is not physically gifted yet.
I got to go with Charch here. I mean, he's not a very good talent evaluator.
No. Well, it started, it really started with him. Brady's done.
Yeah,
he's not the best quarterback. Not only is he not the best quarterback in the league, he's not even the best quarterback on the roster. That's your guy, Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's right.
And now he's gone with Saquon was cooked.
Saquon Barkley is cooked.
And that's his job, right? The rest of us say dumb sports things all the time. His job is to know and project football players' success rates.
He has a nationally syndicated fantasy football weekly show.
Yeah. So it would be like Warren Buffett investing in Enron, right? It's like you're supposed to know which way this thing's going.
Enron's cooked.
Enron is definitely cooked.
They were cooked.
But it's not even the Saquon line. It's the 3 running backs he throws out after that.
I don't think I've ever heard of any of them.
Jonathan Brooks is a rookie for Carolina that you knew was hurt going into the season. He didn't play like the first half of the season. Ramondre Stevenson was okay for New England. Zamir White lost his job to Alexander Madison this year for Las Vegas. So just 3 awful selections that he would take over Saquon.
Hope nobody used that cheat sheet.
Region.
He probably didn't make the finals.
There's a lot of LeBron and Bronny statements in this year's tournament. The number 5 seed, J.J. Redick, head coach of the Lakers. On the Lakers drafting Bronny James, he said, quote, Bronny has earned this. Bronny has earned this through hard work. He'll go up against the number 12 seed, Liv Schreiber, on HBO's Hard Knocks. When a backup Bears quarterback threw a touchdown to a backup Bears wide receiver in a preseason game, Liv said, quote, Colin Johnson's laser-sharp route, Rippon's rifle right arm, hasn't just given the Bears the lead, but a whole city hope.
Welcome back to the spotlight, young man.
Yeah, that's...
But this is a Larry Mondello situation, right? There's no way Liev Schreiber wrote that. He's just reading it, right?
Yeah.
So shouldn't it be the writer of whoever gave that line to Liev Schreiber? But just like we have
he still had to read it.
He did have to read it.
Nobody sends that back and goes, guys, can we change this?
Yeah, send that to rewrite and have him punch it.
But a whole city hope.
West Region.
Hoping that has not come to this is what they were hoping.
The number 6 seed, Texas Tech's Tyler Owens, doesn't believe in space as in other planets and feels flat Earth theories have some, quote, valid points.
Well,
It's worth investigating. We always just follow the science.
were you around when Columbus sailed the 7 seas?
I wasn't.
That was about the time that the pyramids were being built in Egypt, I believe. About the same.
Corey, you like chiming in on these types of topics?
I mean, at this point, I mean, I don't have much to say anymore about stuff like this.
Tyler Owens will go up against the number 11 seed, Joey Galloway, who suggested that Indiana sit their starting quarterback, Curtis Rourke, against Ohio State to avoid a Florida State Jordan Travis situation.
Now, honestly, if we believe in what our metrics are saying, if I'm Indiana, I don't know if I'm playing Rourke against Ohio State. We've seen what happened to Florida State last year, Jordan Travis. What could keep Indiana out of this? Getting their quarterback hurt. We've seen it happen to Florida State last year.
Thank you to whoever that co-host was.
Yeah.
Because usually you have people just go right along with it.
Correct.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I think there's just too many people on TV. I think that's one of the lessons.
That is exactly correct.
Yeah.
Especially like Friday nights on Channel 9.
9:30 on Fox 9, 7:30 on Fox 9 Plus. They're running out of ideas.
Well, I'll just say that I just don't think enough has been said. And that's why they have you guys.
We have to be there.
Exactly.
Just to wrap up the week.
West Region.
Number 3 seed, Greg Papa, on his emotional farewell to the A's in Oakland Coliseum. Quote, like closing the casket on your mom or dad.
I hadn't seen this one.
Papa is going to go up against the number 14 seed, Mark Rosen.
Not fair. That's not fair.
On going to the Guthrie, Orpheum, courtside seats at Target Center and Williams Arena on 4 consecutive nights. Quote, it's available to everybody.
Go ahead, guys.
The Greg Papa one might be one of my favorite of all time.
I don't know why the committee had to put Rosie up against this one.
Right.
Because Rosie's quote, of course, is ridiculously high on my list against almost anybody else but this one.
I haven't been this sad since I buried mom and dad when the A's left. When I walked out of the Coliseum.
Closing that door and latching it shut on the moving van was just like closing the casket. Exactly.
To defend Rosie, it's available to anybody to go to the Guthrie, Orpheum, courtside at Target Center and Williams Arena on 4 consecutive nights. I assume they were weeknights. If you want to spend $5,000 in a week, it's available to everybody.
No one is stopping you.
No one is stopping you from spending that kind of money to go to those 4 venues on back-to-back-to-back-to-back nights.
And Rosie did exactly that, but spent $5,000 less than the number you just threw out there.
He did not spend way too much on this week.
West Region.
The number 7 seed, Zach Halverson. I feel like most people won't understand the preposterousness of this statement, but I am a hockey guy, so I will. Halvey tweeted, one of the biggest upsets in Minnesota high school hockey history. Chanhassen defeats number 1 and undefeated Minnetonka 2-1 and will head to the state tournament for the first time in program history. I noted on here that going into the game, Chanhassen was 22-5. They ended up taking second in the state tournament. They lost to Minnetonka by just 1 goal, 3-2 earlier in the season. Yeah. It's not that big of an upset.
Doesn't seem like quite as large as Miracle.
I think that one got properly dragged at the time. That got ratioed pretty quickly at the time. And then, per usual, when Halby gets pushed back on his high school hockey tweets or just behavior in general, like when he was crying on the air when White Bear Lake lost last year in overtime, he immediately started blocking everybody that disagreed with him, and that included me.
What was your line again that got him
Close the yearbook.
Oh, close the yearbook, yeah. Love the close the yearbook line.
So good.
He really was
I don't think he blocked me after this one, so.
He blocked me after that one. He was very, very mad at me. And I think tonight is the first game he's calling again on the Fan since that night. Although he did call a couple later that weekend. He recovered.
Yeah.
To call some Friday and Saturday. But tonight he's got high school hockey, right? On the Fan. Didn't
He's
he
outstanding on high school hockey play-by-play as well. He's elite. He's fantastic. But
I definitely got blocked.
Loses.
I straight up got blocked because I told him to close the yearbook.
You probably deserved it.
Kansas City could have used you.
That's true.
On Sunday.
They could have.
I don't know the matchup, but yeah, it does have high school hockey 6:30 on the calendar, so.
I think it's St. Thomas Academy against
Shocking.
somebody else. Might be White Bear.
I was going to say, it's either going to be White Bear, Hill Murray, or St. Thomas Academy. Those are the only teams we put on the Fan on weeknights. Halby's going to go up against the number 10 seed, Joel Klatt. And Joel said this.
Here's the thing that you got to understand about the NFL.
You know what he does?
It doesn't matter who your coach is.
Well, I wonder what his logic was. Did he have anything that...
His logic was it's all in the quarterback, which there's something to it.
There's some truth to it, but yeah.
I wouldn't say it doesn't matter who your coach is.
I remember 15 or so years ago on this station, I used to say that about the NBA all the time.
That's true, you did.
That the coach doesn't matter at all. I've grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the coach matters some, but I still think
you had a lot of interesting opinions at KFAN, the restaurant. I had to sit back there and listen to a lot of those.
Do you know how expensive? You know how much money I spent on those chicken fingers?
Not enough.
4 consecutive nights. You know how much money I spent on those?
Not enough to keep it open.
It's the best. Free food every night.
All right, final matchup of the
West Region.
The number 2 seed, Paul Allen. He's never won a preposterous statement tournament championship. Can he win with this?
Did you really get free food at
all the time
in the restaurant?
Yeah, we tipped the servers and stuff, but Lake and I got free food nightly.
Because
it's the best.
I was broadcasting there early on, and we come back from break, and all you can hear me is off mic, and I'm telling the waitress, we're not paying for our food. I go, this isn't WCCO, the restaurant. And that was on the air, because she was handing us a bill to pay for our food at KFAN. I'd ordered a sandwich named after me.
Your life-size portrait was on the wall.
And they thought they were going to charge us.
Where were those portraits? Where'd those end up?
Somebody has them.
Those
I don't know who
cutouts?
they are.
Well, you know the rest of the story about the gift cards, right? Does everybody know this story? We can say this on the air, right? Do you guys know this story?
No.
I know some of it.
So, do you remember back in the day? I honestly don't think Lake and I got it because we got free food every night, essentially 7 and 9. But if I remember right, a lot of the on-air talent at the time got a gift card once a month because the idea was,
go there
and get free food, and we want the people that are on air at the restaurant as often as possible. Well, one former coworker of ours would show up and use the gift card for takeout. He would go get food and then immediately leave, and then the restaurant's like, that's defeating the purpose. Yeah. You're supposed to sit
walked
here
in.
and eat.
It wasn't car side to go.
Right, so he would walk in and take the 2 bags essentially and get out of there, and I think about a month later they cut off the gift card program.
Yeah, well, I think there were some people that were actually giving them to their family members. Here, why don't you just go there? It's on me, and they would show up, and they're not associated with the radios.
Supposed to go with the family, then you would have got it comped.
They should try it again.
It would work
the next time through.
It would work.
Station's more popular now. Last one.
West Region.
What was your sandwich? Do you remember, Common?
Bologna.
That's right.
And there goes bologna sandwich.
Makes sense.
Very accurate.
Barrero was the patty meltdown.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, everybody had one. It was pretty good.
It was good.
They were pretty accurate.
Yeah.
West Region.
The number 2 seed is Paul Allen.
This Minnesota Vikings team is absolutely Super Bowl caliber. I don't feel that very often.
PA is going to go up against the number 15 seed FanDuel, who tweeted, should Taylor Swift get a ring if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's a route.
Would she have gotten a ring from Kelsey had they won the Super Bowl?
Is that what they were wondering? I wonder. FanDuel.
Hey, what year did PA start calling Vikings games? Like 2000 or 2001? Somewhere around then, yeah. So let's say it's 24 seasons, give or take. If we had him hooked up to a lie detector test, how many years do you think he truly knew they had no chance?
Because truly knew or truly thought?
Yeah, truly thought that they weren't going to be competitive.
Never.
Over, under,
I don't think ever.
1.5.
Yeah, I think it's under 5.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Somewhere between 0 and 5.
My favorite is still when he's on the Friday Football Feast and they asked him for his prediction, and he goes, it'll be the Falcons and the Vikings in the NFC Championship game, and you're on your own after that. Combined, the teams had 5 wins.
So you're on your own after that.
Yeah.
Kicker is the best.
Yeah.
I'll get you there.
I'll get you there.
That's a wrap. You guys figure it out from there. But it's Vikings and Falcons.
There's a halfway point. We've just gotten through our second region. We'll be back with more PST Triple-V Double I after this here on The Fan. Tennessee, got a keyword?
I do, yeah. The Fan wants to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword credit at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is credit. Enter now at KFAN.com. Heads Up Minnesota, Slightly Stupid is coming to town with their unique blend of reggae, rock, and blues. Don't miss out on this epic night when they take the stage at the Ledge Amphitheater on August 6th. Tickets are on sale now. Get the full details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
We're at the halfway point of PST Triple-V Double I, our 17th year. We'll crown a champion. Tennessee, what's it usually take? How many weeks? Or
we speeded it. We started to speed it up a little bit. So it'll be, 2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks, we'll have a champion crowned. I'm Common along with Tennessee, Corey Cove of Power Trip Morning Show, Justin Gard, JG, the tasteless box of mashed potatoes from Bumper to Bumper, and many other obligations that he has. Let's go ahead and move on with the second half of the selection show. What do you got, Tanner?
Yeah, you can watch the Preposterous Statement Tournament Selection Show right now at KFAN.com/watch. We're halfway there. Let's now go to the number 1 seed in the
East Region.
The number 1 seed from the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green. Here's what he said about the amount they get fined by the NBA.
The fines, to me, don't make sense. You know, when you talk about as hard as we work to accumulate wealth, coming from situations that most people never make it out, and then you get fined the way we get fined, it's actually not set up for us to be wealthy after we're done playing.
Jimmy Butler, by the way, just skipped 2 months of work, blew up an entire situation, and signed a 2-year, $110 million extension.
Well, that'll happen.
It's a good gig.
It's normal.
Draymond will go up against the winner of the Saiyan matchup, the number 16 seed, D'Angelo Russell, who said, quote, hell of a year by D'Angelo, humbly saying that. D'Angelo will go against the number 17 seed, Greg Olson, who said, quote, a 2nd and 10 is the same as a 1st and 10.
That's why he lost his job to Brady.
Yeah, that must be it.
All 3 of these are unbelievable.
Yeah.
I love all 3 of these.
Yeah, this is a good little trio.
Olson's still my favorite analyst of all of them on TV.
He's great.
Don't you think?
We got him a lot, didn't we, this year? The Vikes?
Yeah.
He has the best grasp of anybody about game theory and analytics. He's the one that's the most on board with like the new era of analyzing football. He gets it.
East Region.
The number 8 seed is Emmanuel Acho, who tweeted, if you didn't get emotional watching Bronny check into the Lakers game with his dad, LeBron, you got to check your pulse, man. He'll go up against the number 9 seed, Jake Paul, who said, quote, I believe I could beat Mike Tyson during any phase of any part of his career.
Hey, people ask sometimes hypotheticals about time travel, like if you could go back and kill baby Hitler, would you do it, right? I feel like...
Hold on. Go around the room, would you?
I feel like if we ever find a way to time travel, we should start with this one. Forget baby Hitler. Like, well, that'll be on day 2 of time travel. Like, let's make sure Jake Paul goes back to 1980, 7?
That would be 1986 would have been 21st.
So let's take Jake Paul now. We'll Marty McFly his ass back to 1986 and put him in a ring with the black trunks and the death stare of Mike Tyson.
And the towel, no robe, just a towel with a hole torn through it. No socks. just glowering at the other guy and then running across the ring at breakneck speed to meet him there before the guy can barely get off his
What a
stool.
vibe.
It's
Well,
terrific.
if you had to bet your life over under how many seconds or minutes Jake Paul would last against Tyson in his prime,
It would be within a 90 seconds for sure.
Yeah.
It would be within
Half the
90
boxers he went up against, he took down in 90 seconds in his prime.
If you're ever bored, you want to go to YouTube and watch when Michael Spinks fought him. Michael Spinks did it because he wanted the money. It was the biggest payday of his life. And you see him in the corner, and you can tell he's like, I don't want to be here.
Terrified.
And it is just terrifying. And within 90 seconds, he's done. It's over just like that.
I feel like we could have had an entire bracket on Bronny James related
Yes.
statements.
There's been
Yes.
4 of them, I
Yeah.
think.
Bronny and LeBron, yeah.
Yep.
And there's probably more to come.
East Region.
The number 4 seed, John Smoltz, he said, quote, those 2 innings by Cole after giving up 5 runs in the 5th was the greatest pitching performance I have ever seen. He'll go up against the number 13 seed, Diana Rossini, on why Mike Vrabel wasn't hired for a head coach position. Quote, I don't think there was a fit for him. I don't think he sat in front of any owner who thought that his style was going to work for what they were looking for. I had a GM at the Senior Bowl who mentioned to me Vrabel's physical build, that he's a very large human being and can be very intimidating to people in an organization that are going to be part of these decisions, and that is a factor.
like your guy, Dan Campbell.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar.
Or it's like when the Star Tribune, their editorial page said, big black pickup trucks that are up on big tires that have tinted windows and black license plates are intimidating and menacing. That's what it said. And I found myself almost being late to the show a couple of times because I see one next to me and I have to take a
didn't know
detour to
what
get
to
to
do.
work. I got to get off the road because I'm intimidated and menaced. This is preposterous, isn't it?
Wasn't John Smoltz on the mound for Game 7, 1991?
Correct.
He was
Yes.
there.
He opposed Jack Morris, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You would think that might make it.
Maybe he just
I mean,
forgot about
Smoltz's
that.
pitching performance that night was one of the best of
It
all
is true.
time. I mean, it was
Nobody
a 1-0
talks about
game.
it.
No.
Yeah.
He was incredible.
How long did he go? Did he go in 8 or 9?
I
Did he
think,
go 8?
I think he got that
But
deep.
shutout,
I
yeah.
don't remember exactly, but yeah.
Up until that point, he was pitching better than Morris, probably. You could
You know,
argue.
5 minutes after that game.
East Region.
The number 4 seed, Paul Pierce, he feels responsible for why LeBron ended up taking it to the next level.
I truly feel responsible for taking LeBron to that, taking him to that next level, because when he went to Miami, Game 5, Game 6 in Boston, where we had him on the ropes to go back to the finals, I think that was the game that took LeBron to the next level.
Paul is going to go up against the number 12 seed, Pete Burcich.
I saw a shirtless PA in the Pacific doing a skull chant. Of course, it was on film. Of course, it was being filmed. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
It was beautiful. Think about it.
Honestly, if you see a shirtless PA, though, just be thankful it's in the ocean and not behind you at the urinal.
I was going to say, get in line, Burcich. We've all seen a shirtless PA doing weird things. That's not anything to brag about.
And certainly you don't want him tickling your sides.
No, we've all seen a shirtless PA doing weirder things than that.
I think it's gone more than shirtless before, but we'll move on.
I don't want to know anymore. That's it.
It won't matter.
East Region.
The number 6 seed, Skip Bayless, quote, I told my wife, you're going to be second in my life to my work. It's rare that I'm going to sacrifice and miss a LeBron game. I chose to dedicate my life to this.
He didn't really say that.
I've seen this multiple times from Skip, yeah.
And he's up against LeBron, the number 11 seed, LeBron James, and whether he would want a farewell tour. Quote, I'm 50-50. I've never been that great with accepting praise.
Now,
Go ahead, you go.
No, Charch isn't here, but he agrees with that because much like LeBron shouting out, PA was embarrassed when LeBron shouted him out and called him a national treasure. Paul Charchian agrees with LeBron on that. He's not great with accepting praise.
So Skip Bayless says, I told my wife you're going to be second in my life to my work, right? Which is pretty offensive to say that to your wife.
Right.
But did he ever say you're like a 5 or a 6, but you're low maintenance, so that makes you like an 8? that was for like 10 people.
Not even 10. Not even 10. But I was one of them, and I
That's
appreciate
the hardest I've made Brandon laugh in years. I got you.
The audience has no idea how good that is.
I don't either. I'm lost
you
on
need
a
to do
lot
the story
of
out there.
I think I was the first one to hear it, too.
I still think it's the most egregious thing in the history of this station, and I can't believe it, but it's one of my all-time favorite quotes.
I need it because I can put this in my next book.
They've been
I got you. I got Brandon to laugh. That
They've
was
been
good.
happily married for a long time.
Ego boost.
It all
There's
worked
another
out.
one with that personality that we can't relay on the air due to the language, but yeah. All right.
East
We're going to
region.
break right now. I need to know this.
3 more. Number 3 seed Tom Fornelli. He posted a poll on Twitter that asked, as a college basketball fan, would you prefer your favorite team to... Excuse me, let me redo this. Can you hit the rewind button for me?
Yeah.
Posted a poll on Twitter that asked... Yeah, thank you. As a college basketball fan, what would you prefer your favorite team to do? A, win your conference, or B, win the NCAA tournament? He will go up against the number 14 seed, Jay Billis. Is it Billis?
Bilas.
Yeah. Bilas.
No, it's Billis.
Is it Billis?
It's Billis.
Jay thinks he has the solution.
I'm bad with names.
I understand.
Jay's
you don't
got
have
the
the Sunday ticket?
Jay's got the solution to court storming, apparently.
But you don't have to stop the court storming. One time, all you have to do is once they're on the court, don't let them off. Just say you're all detained and give them all citations or arrest them if you want to. And then court stormings will stop the next day.
I like Billis. He's got a couple of these where it's just like, bro.
Detain them. What are you going to do?
All of them. Yeah.
Now, 2 Saturdays ago, Williams Arena, under the Billis plan, my 10-year-old, my 8-year-old, and my 6-year-old would have been arrested for storming the court.
Probably still in solitary
at
confinement,
Williams Arena.
Yeah.
How fun was that? Was that fun to storm the court?
I mean, calling what we did storming,
Walking onto the court?
leisurely walking after the students had gotten out there, that's what we did. But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was fun. And I'm glad I didn't have to worry about the threat of arrest. That would have been something.
Just go up and tell them, hey, you're detained.
You're detained. You're going to the basement of Williams
and
Arena.
if you don't come with us, we'll tase you.
East region.
The number 7 seed, he's in the tournament once again, Meat Sauce, who said, quote, do they put the Final Four in stadiums to sell more seats? He'll go up against the number 10 seed, Bomani Jones, who tweeted, show me the time we ever considered Kelsey as good as a true number 1 receiver. You can't. You can't pull years with big numbers, and you never thought in real time, there goes a number 1 receiving threat.
Did anybody answer Sauce when he asked that? Was that a tweet or was that on the show?
I don't remember him saying that. I feel like I would have probably had something to say after he says something like that, but I don't remember him saying that.
He does say some of the more outlandish things when you're gone. When you're at the World Series of Poker or Disney World with your family.
He's always said that he feels safe when I'm gone.
It's a safe space.
He can say whatever he wants without criticism. He forgets everybody still hears him and can record that. Or I can't tell you how many tweets or texts I get when he says something like that and I'm gone. Because it's like they want me to come back and have a list to roast him when I get back.
Have you ever done that?
Just have a list when I'm gone?
Yeah, I thought you'd done that before. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, I should do that.
Just follow up on some things. Because he is free and easy when you're gone. I mean, we could fill up an entire bracket with the stuff he says just when you're gone.
Yeah, because Dad's gone and I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, nobody stops the show.
East region.
He is.
The number 2 seed, Gilbert Arenas, he called out Rudy Gobert for missing a playoff game last year for the birth of his child.
I would imagine Minnesota guy. I don't know for sure. I'm not in that man's business like that.
I mean, missing this game for that baby. I see you.
It's a baby, bro. It's gonna be there when you get back. We hope. Right. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The baby gonna be okay, but unnecessary. The baby gonna. It don't know. Whatever you about to think you about to do with the baby, he gonna be asleep. Need that skin-to-skin contact.
Skin-to-skin contact.
Gilbert's going to go up against the number 15 seed, Matt Eberflus, on having the game end by time expiring, not using a timeout before his eventual final play. He said, quote, I think we handled it the right way. It didn't work out the way we wanted to.
He's still employed by them, right?
Coaching doesn't matter, according to Joe Klatt, if we want to bring it back.
God, that not owning up to that was probably the final nail in that dude's coffin, right? Because that was egregious.
I know we all want to be progressive fathers. I kind of agree with Gilbert Arenas. Like,
you do?
Now, he's got to be there for the birth of his child.
Right.
But you know when the playoffs are, right? When you're family planning. Mm-hmm. Like, there's times, like, I would never have knee surgery during the state fair.
Right.
I would never get married during the state fair.
Right.
Like, there's times in your calendar that we all know it's important that you be there. Or we want you to be a family guy and we want you to have your time off, but there are important times of the year. Playoffs are important, just like the state fair is for us.
Or if you are going to play rather than be there, a C-section would be
exactly.
That's what I would do.
That's what I would do. I would just schedule a C-section and get it on an off day. Get it on an off day and get it out of the way.
The baby going to be there when you get back.
Not to make everything about Meat Sauce, because Meat Sauce thinks I'm obsessed with him, because I probably am. Have you guys had this happen in the first 5 weeks of Louis' life? A lot of people right on the Power Trip Morning Show, because we have about 90 different guests, will say, "How's Louie?" And his response is always, "He's great. He doesn't do much." We don't expect him to be running laps. He's 2 or 3 or 4 weeks old.
He's not doing math yet?
Right, so he has to put that little asterisk, he doesn't do much. He just eats and sleeps. Like every 3-week-old on the planet.
That's good. He's right on schedule.
Kid's adorable. He's doing a great job.
He's a cute kid.
Doesn't do much.
And little Lou is just like you. He's on meds, too.
Oh, it's the best. Cute kid.
Let's take a break. Come back. One more segment to go. One more region to go here on the Preposterous Statement Tournament, Triple V, Double I. Right now, the Wild Today with Tenna.
Yeah, this Wild Today brought to you by Jim Beam, the official bourbon of the Minnesota Wild. The Four Nations Face-Off begins tomorrow in Montreal. In this tournament, the Wild are well represented. Matt Boldy and Brock Faber will play for Team USA. Bill Guerin is the GM for the Americans. John Hines is an assistant coach. Jonas Brodin, Joel Eriksson Ek, and Philip Gustafsson will all play for Team Sweden, who begins the tournament tomorrow night in a game against Canada. That was Wild Today, brought to you by Jim Beam, a crowd pleaser since 1795. Don't miss out. One OK Rock is storming the Armory with their high voltage performance. Be there for an epic night of rock on June 7th with special guest Stand Atlantic. Check out our contest page.
Stand Atlantic.
Check out our contest page. See how you can win your way in. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter today.
Our final segment, final region for PST Triple V, Double I, and then 10 and beat. Does the voting begin right away tomorrow?
Tomorrow. We'll unveil the say-in matchups.
There we go. So we'll do that tomorrow at time. We do 1:15, correct?
I think last year we were doing like 1:30 because we were going longer.
Okay. We'll do it at 1:30. That's what, so be there for that. Let's go ahead and start.
Except for on Fridays, of course.
Yes. Let's start with the final region for PST Triple V, Double I.
We're on to the
South Region.
The number 1 seed is Paul Charchian. This tweet did not age well for him. Right after the Vikings signed after the Vikings signed Sam
Some people would
Darnold.
say that damn Darnold after that, those last 2 games.
After the Vikings signed Sam Darnold, he tweeted, "This is your new starting quarterback, Vikings fans. You don't pay $10 million to a backup. Well, you shouldn't anyway. Funny how inexpensive the QB position can be when you sign a player nobody else dare put under center. I've been told 1,000 times, quote, wins are a quarterback stat. So here you go. 56 career starts, 21 wins. We're back to the days of starting washed-up journeyman retreads, and that's how we like it in Minnesota. Sleep easy, Vikings fans. You've got the quarterback you wanted and deserved." I wish he was here for this.
But who's going to take the bullet and say, when he tweeted that, I couldn't have agreed more?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it aged terribly, but we all thought, Sam Darnold, this sucks.
Yeah, but we knew that we were drafting the quarterback of the future. And even though it was before, right? Darnold would have had to have been before free agency.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just envision Charch, I don't know what time, if there's a timestamp on this tweet, but I envision him either like closing the laptop, putting his phone down, grabbing his glass of whiskey, and then just sitting in a chair and staring out into the abyss. Because he was so forlorn. He was so down. The sleep easy, Vikings fans. Yeah. You've got the quarterback you wanted and deserved.
Just bitter, thinking, here we are, why are we doing this?
And then his wife's name's Roxy, right? And then Roxy's like, Paul, are you okay? I'm fine, Roxy. I just want to be left alone. And he's sitting there thinking about Sam Darnold and the Vikings and Kirk Cousins.
How Darnold sucks and how Saquon's cooked.
Yes. And he's just staring out at wherever in his office with fantasy football cheat sheets all over the floor like Howard Hughes in The Aviator.
Right.
And he's just sitting there just forlorn about the Darnold bit. That's what I imagine with this.
I think you've got it spot on.
Charch will go up against the winner of the say-in matchup. We got 2 fan personalities meeting up here in the say-in round. Number 16 seed Eric Nordquist. He said that Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison is a better duo than Randy Moss and Chris Carter. Nordo will go up against the number 17 seed Mark Rosen, talking about the Mavericks-Warriors game on November 12th. Quote, "It had the drama of Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals."
I'll defend Nordo because I've sat in that chair.
and you've stayed in it for a long time.
And I was there for 3 years.
Yeah.
And you do start to believe stuff about the Vikings when you're the current Vikings. When you're in that chair, you don't even recognize yourself after a certain point. You're like, did I say that?
Yeah.
Like Stockholm Syndrome.
A little bit, yeah. Even though we all grew up watching Randy Moss and Chris Carter, you start to think, Jefferson and Adamson. They might be better.
They might be better.
I'm going to bring that to the table today, 9 to noon.
South Region.
Number 8 seed, Bob Nightingale tweeted, "The New York Mets Cinderella story continues. They're going to the NLCS after defeating the Philadelphia Phillies 4-1. We made sure we made a note that the Mets had the highest payroll in Major League Baseball. He'll go up against the number 9 seed, Kadarius Toney, who said he is a number 1 wide receiver in the NFL, quote, if I get the ball.
Most would be if they get it early.
That's kind of an important part of being a number 1 wide receiver is getting the ball.
Good matchup.
South Region.
The number 4 seed, Richard Jefferson, after the death of Warriors assistant coach Dejan, how do you say the name here, Milosevic?
Close enough.
Here's what he had to say about the Warriors.
Supporting his family in this very, very difficult time. And you've seen the shirts. You've seen, obviously, the logo here on the court. These are things that obviously can be devastating to a group, and it was. But also on the flip side of it, it could be something that brings this group together, something that they might have needed at that moment.
Good boy.
Richard is going to go up against the number 13 seed, Dave Sinikin, after the Packers' playoff win over the Cowboys last year. Quote, "We've endured a lot of heartbreaking January Sundays in recent years. We've earned this."
That one, I think, just because most of the voters are in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That one's going to...
We're not going to show a lot of sympathy for that one.
No. I think Cinny has an opportunity to make a run here. Unlike the Packers' most playoffs, according to him. They can make a pretty good run. They have no idea how good they've had it.
Yeah, they really
for
don't.
30-plus years.
Do the Timberwolves have a coach that could take a bullet for the team and turn this thing around? Yeah. Like, do we have one that's expendable? That's like, you'd be better as moral support than actually coaching X's and O's.
You'd have to give me the yearbook and let me look.
That's right.
You know, just haven't been paying close enough attention to the Wolves.
Another good example of whether it's Jay Billis, Emmanuel Acho, Richard Jefferson. Like, not only are too many people probably on TV, they're on TV too long.
Yeah.
Like, they have, because the stuff everything just gets regurgitated and you just keep talking and it's the same questions and so you try to come up with different ideas and sometimes you just don't need a new idea. But Richard Jefferson said it.
Yep.
We got another one from Jay Williams coming up too.
South Region.
The number 5 seed, Greg Amsinger of MLB Network. Common, you remember years ago when Robbie Ince-Mikowski had the statement about Francisco Liriano being one of the best lefties in baseball, and then he immediately gave up a home run?
Correct.
This has a very similar feel to this. So this is going to be long. You're going to hear the highlight after the statement. But here's what Greg Amsinger said on MLB Network.
Don't take this the wrong way, but we are already a no-hitter alert. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, before he throws a single pitch tonight against the Marlins, we have a no-hitter alert. Okay. Enjoy what could be a no-hitter from Yamamoto.
You know Jazz swing your first pitch.
Right here on MLB Network for Harold. See why I'm Greg. We have a no-hitter alert. Enjoy this game live on MLB Network.
Oh boy.
It's in the major leagues to establish himself as that guy. Dodgers looking for a 6th straight win and a 13th out of their last 15 after they took the first game 6-3 last night. Yamamoto comes home, and off we go. And the aggressive Marlins get a first pitch swing and a high fly ball and a home run for Jazz Chisholm on the first pitch.
Greg is going to go up against the number 12 seed, Alyssa Milano, who posted a GoFundMe to her followers to raise $10,000 for her son's baseball team to go to Cooperstown. By the way, Alyssa Milano, her net worth is $10 million.
She didn't really do that.
She did. I remember that. Yeah. I didn't know her net worth was $10 million, but I do remember at the time going, that's interesting. Did they ever get the team to Cooperstown? Did we follow up on that?
I would assume so.
And is she based in California? Is that a standard thing for California baseball teams to go all the way to Cooperstown?
Well, if you're the Little League World Series. Probably
that was the bit?
I'm assuming so.
No, we're thinking about Williamsport.
Oh, yeah, we're thinking Williamsport.
Yeah, you're right. That's irrelevant. You don't need to just go to Cooperstown on a whim. Yeah,
that's
you're right.
not a standard.
Maybe they had a different
trip.
national baseball
if it was
tournament.
Williamsport, yeah. Either way, it's stupid. $10 million.
Don't ask for money when you're Alyssa Milano. No.
When do I see her every morning after I watch a Wolves game on TNT? Is she on the TNT show? What is it on?
Charmed. Chris Hockey watches it on mute almost every morning.
That's gross.
I thought she was
distracted.
I thought she was an actress. Sorry.
How great is the She's an Actress bit?
It's my favorite. Is good. Is she in that show, though? She is, right?
Yeah, she's one of the 3 charmed ladies.
Got it. It is always disorienting when you turn the TV on and that's what it was on most recently. When I was just watching Wolves-Lakers. Why is Alyssa Milano in here?
Chris loves it.
I'm sure he does.
South Region.
The number 6 seed, Jay Williams, after Caitlin Clark broke the women's college scoring record, he said, quote, I'm unwilling to say that she is great yet. He'll go
What was he going to need to see?
I remember watching that live.
Does he have something against her? Or is
no, his argument was she's got to win a championship to be great, which is also preposterous.
Yeah,
that should face itself. Jay Williams should go against himself in the same statement.
That would be like Barry Sanders wasn't great. I mean, you could name all the players that never won championships. Say, well, they're not. I can't call them great.
Trying too hard.
She broke the scoring record.
Yeah.
Jay's going to go up against the number 11 seed, Booger McFarland, speaking of trying hard. On the Dan Patrick Show, he compared Brock Purdy to John Stockton, saying Stockton would, quote, be just another guy without Karl Malone.
Mailman always delivered.
Except for on Sundays.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Too much time on TV now.
South Region.
I think we're in a no-win situation sometimes.
The number 3 seed, Doc Rivers, on taking over the Bucks mid-season last year, said, quote, I've never done this. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. It's going to be a challenge.
So that's the second professional athlete or coach in this tournament that has said, I wouldn't wish this on anyone. One's a 1 seed, one's a 3 seed.
Doc's going to go up against the number 14 seed, Marty Gellner, who appears on the Power Trip Morning Show.
What?
After Mike Conley signed a contract extension, Marty said, quote, people were dancing in the streets upon hearing the news.
I refuse to rip Marnie Gellner. She's an American treasure.
And I refuse to rip Mike Conley because he's a bi-weekly guest of the Bumper to Bumper, so I'm compromised.
Well, then I will.
Are you dancing in the streets?
Well, the Doc Rivers one to me is funny because people may not remember he was a consultant for the Bucks and the staff. He was consulting with the team, and then mid-January he said, I'll take the job.
I'll take the job.
Yeah, you know what? I've been looking around, and I think I'd be a good head coach. And they fired the head coach, and he took over.
South Region.
The number 7 seed is Mike Tannenbaum. This is another one of those Gerdsey guys on television. Too many guys on television.
Outside of Patrick Mahomes, if we, the 4 of us, were running an NFL team today, there is nobody on the planet I'd rather have than Jordan Love, period, end of sentence. 25 years old, can make all the throws, 6'4", high character, high processor, can make people miss. The sky is the limit. If he was an IPO, it'd be like buying NVIDIA 3 years ago.
Okay.
He is by far to me a player that has the most sustained upside. Do I love Josh Allen? Of course I love Josh Allen. Josh Allen takes a lot of big hits. C.J. Stroud, love C.J. Stroud. Jordan Love's been in the league a little bit longer than C.J. Stroud. There are some other people in that conversation, but when you talk about sustained excellence, to me, it's Jordan Love and then everybody else.
Mike Tannenbaum's going to go up against the number 10 seed, Mark Rosen, who said this.
Well, they're superstars. I mean, Kyrie finally found his Batman, and he's got him in Doncic.
We should note Kyrie went to 3 straight NBA Finals, winning in 2017 with LeBron James.
The legendary Mark Rosen, and that's why he's a legend.
2 to 3.
Yep.
How many days a week do we get that?
3. Used to be 4, now it's 3.
3 days a week, some weeks.
Yeah, some weeks. Like this week, he's in Palm Springs, as you mentioned earlier. He'll be here tomorrow.
All right, our final matchup of the Preposterous Statement Tournament in the first round.
South Region.
The number 2 seed is Lavelle E. Neal III. He said rodeo cowboys put 400,000 miles a year on their trucks. He'll go up against the number 15 seed, Royce Lewis. Here's what Royce had to say about Byron Buxton.
I mean, he's an MVP player if he's healthy. Him and Mike Trout are very similar to me, except for Byron has the speed edge for sure. And it's going to be impressive to watch this year. I'm really excited to have front row vision of that.
Finally, I get to break down some numbers. Lavelle E. Neal said 400,000 miles a year. That would be over 365 days. Just under 1,100 miles a day. So that would be the equivalent of basically Minneapolis to New Orleans every single day. Because New Orleans is about 1,200? Wow. Just a little perspective there. Not that
How long would it take you to make that drive, by the way?
It's like 20
hours?
Yeah.
So the other 4 hours is when they sleep and eat and also do the rodeo.
Yes.
Got it.
I hope they have like somebody helping to make the drive. Like he's got, another cowboy in the truck with him. Because one guy ain't going to make it.
Right.
No.
There's no way.
Why wouldn't you just ride the horse to New Orleans and back?
Might be a better way to do it. There we go.
That's it.
They're all in.
Well, I mean, I'm going to do it. My pick is the 16 seed in the first region. I spent way too much on Timberwolves tickets this last year. I'm predicting Mark Rosen is your 2025 champion.
Oh my gosh.
Which means I just cursed it. Now it has no chance. But that's the one.
I think this audience in particular likes to
get Rosie going.
They like to get Rosie going. And of all the preposterous statements, that does seem like the most preposterous if you just break it down in every aspect.
If I handed you a $20 bill right now and said, what number is bigger, the amount I just handed you or the amount Rosie spent on Timberwolves tickets last year, what would you guess?
The 20.
The 20.
The 20, yeah.
However, Meat Sauce's comedy is stand-up as a natural extension of his persona. Has been compared to many of the pioneers of comedy.
I forgot about that one.
And then Parker Fox, when he sees yellow, he sees Caitlin Clark in the Iowa
That's what he thinks
Hawkeyes.
of, yeah.
That's what he thinks of immediately. So there are...
it's a good group.
Yeah, it is a good group. I don't know if it's the strongest we've ever had, but there are a lot of... Paul Allen, this team is absolutely Super Bowl caliber. I don't feel that way often.
Have you ever been in it?
I've never made it.
Yes, you've had a...
Oh, did I?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
What about you, Brandon? Have you been in it?
I've been in a couple.
Yeah, a couple.
Because I'm trying to think, like, I didn't make it this year. Hawk didn't make it this year. Barrero didn't make it this year. Nordo's in. Sauces in.
I had like a 4 or 5 seed that made it a couple rounds, a couple years ago.
Remember what it was?
I don't.
Guernsey, you got one. You got a chance.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of times. Not in a while, though. I think this is the first time I've been in a while.
This is a weak one, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a very
I don't
strong
love my
one out of you.
chances. No, I don't like my chances to make a deep run.
Best of luck.
And you'd like to win it, right? I mean, you've won program password.
Yeah, I think I said that line last year.
Yeah.
This is the only tournament I haven't won.
This is the
Initials tournament.
Yeah.
You've won 1 state high school tennis title.
That's true,
Yeah.
according to the Pioneer Press.
So this would be... And I must agree, I don't know. And you have a pretty tough matchup, don't you, this first one?
I don't even remember. I haven't even looked ahead.
I think...
I was just worried
He's
about
got
my
Parker
own.
Fox in the color yellow. So
Yeah, the color yellow.
Yeah, that one's kind of weak, I think. I don't know. I am envisioning Parker, though, literally arguing with a friend and then calling people in.
Yeah,
Because you can do that when you're a 26-year-old college student.
Yeah.
You have time for arguments like that. Yeah. Good for Parker.
Yeah, good for him. Rosen's 14 seed, Guthrie, Orpheum, courtside seats, and Williamsport on second. It's available to everybody.
There's a theme here. There's a theme of him going to events for free.
Well, and then the other one that I think a national one that could go a long way is when Draymond said NBA finds it's actually not set up for us to be wealthy after we're done playing.
yeah.
I mean, no matter how much you're fined in a season.
Well, one way to eliminate that possibility is don't get fined.
Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, behave yourself on the
If you
court.
don't get fined, they can't take your money.
That's exactly.
You just get
Too
the
much
money.
logic there.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we thank you for your assistance as always. We appreciate
Good luck
that.
with the tournament.
Thank you very much.
The best.
There you go. We'll let the preposterousness begin tomorrow at about 1:30. We'll have your matchups for you. And Tenna, as always, they'll be able to vote on KFAN Twitter account.
KFAN, I guess X account is what we got to call it now.
Right.
The KFAN X/Twitter account. Yeah, starting tomorrow, probably when we unveil the statements at 1:30.
I'd like to thank you. The committee for all the hard work they did to put those pairings together and call through all of the nominations. Thank the listeners, too, because I would bet 90% of the preposterous statements or more are provided to us by the listeners out there.
Also, thanks to Zach Halverson and Nick Madden for putting this all up, putting up the graphics on KFAN.com/watch.
And always, we thank Corey Cove and Justin Gard for helping us out. Take a short break. Come back with another hour to go here on the Common Man program on the Fan.